This is the 6 Sports Desk.
Throughout his 27-year career at Michigan State, Tom Izzo has been blessed to be able to coach in a lot of great places. I mean, just think about it. The man has coached on an aircraft carrier, but surprisingly, the Hall of Famer has never coached at Butler's famed Hinkle Fieldhouse until tonight. The Spartans took a quick bus ride to Indy to tip off against the Bulldogs in the 6th annual Gavitt tip-off games, and going into the evening, the Big East owned the Big Ten by going 4-0. So MSU was hoping to snap the conference's losing streak, and whatever Izzo said to Gabe Brown right there, it made an impact. First half, Max Christie doing what he does best, and that is knocking down the three in transition, smooth like butter to give the Spartans a 10-point lead, and Butler calls a TO. This is also what you would call silky smooth. Christie with the fadeaway, Jay and MSU was rolling. However, those buckets were not as easy to come by towards the end of the first, and Butler took advantage. Chuck Harris from downtown, and it's nothing but net to cut MSU's lead to 7 at halftime. But out of the break, the Spartans tightened up defensively, and the wily veteran Brown started heating up. That three capped off an 8-0 run to give the Spartans a 14-point lead, and they never looked back from there. Brown led MSU with 19 points, while Christie dropped a new career high, 18, to make Izzo's 900th game a one to remember.
You know, believe it or not, even though my guys don't like me very much often, but they knew it was a big deal for me. I talked about Hinkle. You know, I gave praise to this place because, like I said, it's all part of the history of the game. And I could hear them at the shoot-around today, you know, and they knew it was a big deal for me, and I learned that it was a big deal for them. And we didn't look like an intimidated group, and I said to win on the road, you got to have toughness and togetherness. That's what you need on the road. I thought tonight we had a little bit of both, and something to build off of.
Izzo also mentioned following the game tonight how he had a dream Mel Tucker beat Ohio State and brought the whole football team to halftime of the Spartans game on Saturday against Eastern Michigan. It would be quite a sight, and who knows, by then Tucker could be the second highest paid college football coach in all of the country. While nothing is finalized or signed, we have learned and confirmed that the university is working on a new 10-year deal for Tucker worth $95 million, which works out to be $9.5 million a year. The only other college coach in the country who would make more than him is his mentor, Nick Saban at Alabama, who makes $9.75 million. This would also make Tucker the highest paid African-American head coach in U.S. sports. One of the major donors who is expected to fund Tucker's new deal is former MSU men's basketball player Matt Ishbia, who is the current chairman, president, and CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage. And the goal is to get the deal done this week. So be sure to stay with 6 Sports. Well, on the gridiron at the prep level, Lansing Catholic's do-it-all wide receiver Alex Waters had a 3-touchdown game in the Cougars' 31-13 win over Montague. It's a big reason why they were able to claim their second regional crown in 3 years, and it's also why we've pegged Waters as our 6 Sports Player of the Week.
When you're in the state semifinal round, not a single detail can be overlooked when preparing for the game. We caught up with Lansing Catholic during one of its film sessions this week, and what they're probably watching on film is a whole lot of this.
Waters went off for 110 total yards and 3 touchdowns, but it's his teammates who deserve all the praise.
A lot of things just aren't possible with the offensive line. You know, we have many different kind of pass things we have to do. They have so much going on for them with who they have to block, you know, all the different things that I personally myself would not be able to do. So, you know, just kind of thinking about them like that, you know, when they do that stuff, you know, things start to typically go well for everybody.
Alex is explosive, so anytime we can get the ball in his hands, you know, you never know what's going to happen. He's that kid that at the end of a basketball game, you want him to shoot it. At the end of the football game, you want him to go up and get it. So, I mean, for him to have the success he did Saturday is just what he's been doing all year long.
Is there anything he's not good at?
Well, there's one thing I like to do, not very good at it. I love to golf. You'll ask Coach Baker, you ask Joey, you know, they'll say I'm horrible.
Being a senior, what will he remember most about Lansing Catholic?
I remember most about the community. It's great to be around everybody. Everybody knows each other, so there's just a certain thing here, you know, with our Catholic faith, and something that I've grown to respect since my freshman year here, that everybody knows each other, and it's a great community here.
As Alex and the Cougar community prepare for another shot to get back to Ford Field, this will be a moment that they'll never forget. In Lansing, Nick Mantis, 6 Sports.
Thank you, Nick. And Lansing Catholic will take on Standish Sterling at Clare High School at 1 p.m. this Saturday. And the Cougars are one of our 7 area teams who are hoping to punch their ticket to Ford Field. And that does it for sports. David is back after the break with a final look at your forecast.